Welcome to the Indiana Department of Revenue's response guide to a documentation request for Federal Schedule C letter. You may be wondering why you received this letter. The Indiana Department of Revenue performs reviews of individual tax returns in order to verify the income that is being reported, in this case specifically a Federal Schedule C. DOR needs you to supply all supporting documentation for your Schedule C in order to process your Indiana return. The letter explains what you need to submit and when you need to respond by. This video will help ensure you submit the correct documentation and how to organize it to avoid processing issues. What do you need to send? You need to send the following in response to the letter: a description of business or businesses, including start date, your original Federal 1040 returns, and all supporting schedules filed with the IRS. Documentation supporting all your business income, Federal Schedule C, Part 1, Line 1. Documentation supporting your 3 largest business expense categories. Expense categories are listed by each line on the Federal Schedule C, Part 2, Lines 8 to 27. Provide a detailed justification for zero income on a business that is not in its first year. All original and amended income statements, for example, 1099 miscellaneous, NEC, R, or K, K1, and or W2 or W2G forms. The first thing you will have to provide documentation on is the income your business made for the tax year. For gross receipts or sales, we accept the following: cash register receipts, receipt books, invoices, credit card charge slips, Forms 1099 NEC, Forms 1099-K. We recommend including bank statements or deposit statements with the above items for validation of income. DOR will not accept Excel spreadsheets or QuickBooks reports as sole proof of income. If you do not have any income on line 1 of your Schedule C, you will need to provide documentation for all amounts showing on lines 2, 4, or 6. If your business is cash-based, you are still required to keep detailed records of the payments received in cash. These records will need to be submitted to DOR to validate the income your business made during the year. Bank statements showing deposits may be required to validate cash payments. Expenses are the costs incurred to carry on the business. DOR will only need you to submit documents for your 3 largest expense categories. The supporting documents should show the amount paid and that the amount was for a business expense. Documents for expenses include the following: canceled checks, cash register receipts, account statements, credit card sales slips, invoices, petty cash slips for small cash payments. We recommend providing a bank or credit card statement with these documents for validation purposes. It's important to take a minute and understand the law behind DOR's request. Indiana Code 6-8.1-5-4A states that every person subject to a listed tax must keep books and records so that the department can determine the amount, if any, of the person's liability for that tax by reviewing those books and records. The records include all source documents necessary to determine the tax, including invoices, registered tapes, receipts, and canceled checks. The person also must allow inspection of the books and records and returns by the department or its authorized agents at all reasonable times. Indiana Code 6-8.1-5-4C. There are 2 ways to submit the requested documentation. Mail. Sending documents through the mail may result in slower response time. In time. In time is the best method for responding to DOR letters, as it will automatically link documents to your account, allowing for faster processing time. DOR no longer has an email or fax for responding to Schedule C letters. These are the only 2 methods available. From In Time, find the panel that says Letters. Select the hyperlink for Respond to a letter, notice, or bill. It is important that you use the letter ID from your Schedule C letter to respond. Using any other letter ID may route your correspondence to the wrong department. Once you submit your documentation, please allow time for the review process. Correspondence is worked in the order it is received. Do not send originals. DOR can only accept copies of the documents requested as they will not be returned. Besides not sending originals into DOR, The letter says you must write the appropriate income and expense category on all documentation. What does this mean? Here are examples showing how to properly annotate your documents by writing the category from the Schedule C on the. For receipts, notice how the expense category is handwritten on the receipt that matches the category from the Schedule C. For invoices, like receipts, you can handwrite the category name on the invoice. If the invoice does not show it was paid, you will need to include a bank statement or credit card statement to validate the purchase. In this example, notice how the document is not legible. This document would not be accepted and would require a clearer copy be submitted. Bank statements are a great way to show multiple expenses without the need for a receipt or invoice. Make sure you clearly mark the categories for each line item if you submit a bank or credit card statement. When submitting documents to DOOR, do not use highlighter. The scanner does not pick up highlights. Always use black ink to mark your documents. Thank you for watching this video. We hope this helped you understand what is needed for your response to DOOR's letter. For additional resources, check the links provided below this video on DOOR's website.